Since the very beginning, I was exposed to Bach music because I was born in a musician's family. Both my parents are pianists. And you know that every time that there is a child approaching to piano and to the study of piano, somehow Bach is one of the first composers that is approaching. And then all of a sudden I was just dreaming of playing everything by Bach. So I really played a lot of Bach. And at some point, you know, when you get older, you have to enrich the repertoire because the piano literature is extremely wide. But somehow Bach has always a special place in my heart. Well, my debut with the orchestra was with the Bach concerto, with the F minor concerto. And when I was 9 years old, I also played the all Bach recital in Venice. And that was a very special experience because when you are so young, you don't realize what actually performing in public means. But at the same time, I just remember that concert as something that I enjoyed very much. I usually avoid to listen to any recording of all the pieces that I am learning and practicing because I think that I have to be authentic and very sincere to the score. And somehow all the influence coming from different recordings could disturb me from the process of really looking into the music. But at the same time, you know, playing a piece like the Goldberg, that cannot mean not to listen to any of the Goldberg recordings because it's a very well-known piece. And I actually remember listening for the first time to the Glenn Gould recording. It was a very shocking experience. And even though I am not listening to it in these days, I still remember very much the emotional impact that had on me when I listened. When it comes to Bach playing, there is always this big trouble about how to play Bach. And that's why I actually avoided to play Bach in competitions, for example. Because it's very controversial and somehow everyone thinks they are right, which could be true. On my point of view, I am a pianist and I play the piano, that's it. So I take advantage of all the technologies that the piano has. That doesn't mean that I have to play as loud as possible Bach, or that I need to have a Lisztian approach, for example. But I also think that we should consider something, that is myself as pianist, I am playing Goldberg in such a huge halls, which Bach would have never imagined. And to fill with the sound such halls, an instrument like the piano is what is needed. So I use, for example, I use pedal, and I also use dynamics, which are not really possible on the harpsichord. But at the same time, I try to be respectful to the Baroque style and to the Baroque playing, trying just to translate it to the modern language of the piano. I think that all the repertoire that I play is somehow useful for Bach and also for the rest of my repertoire. Usually the more you know, the better it is. And there are many composers afterwards that took inspiration on Bach. Of course, it's very difficult to keep the proper sound and the proper style when you have to switch so much repertoire in the same days. But I always feel very much at ease when I play Bach, and somehow it's very easy to find that mood all of a sudden. Sometimes I cannot say the same, for example, for other composers, but with Bach I always had this kind of very direct approach. Recording the Goldberg Variations has been one of the most amazing and the most difficult experience in my life, mainly because of two reasons. First of all, the architecture. The architecture is huge, and even though it's an incredibly huge piece, there is a very precise structure, and there is also a very strong emotional process during the performance, and it's very difficult to keep it during the recording when there are so many takes, and actually the performance is split over 3 days. And the second is the emotional impact, because every time that I play the Goldberg in front of a public, I always feel that it's a very special and unique experience, because you rarely get to play such a long piece in front of an audience that doesn't interact with you, besides with their silence. And somehow I always feel that at the end of the Goldberg Variations in front of a public, in a live performance, there is a change of myself, and there is a change in the audience. And I just had to imagine this change when I was recording. So that was the most challenging aspect for me. Well, I can't wait to play them in Birmingham as well, but yeah, every performance is enriching my view about the Goldberg, and generally speaking, that is true for all the music repertoire that I play, but especially with Goldberg. Goldberg, we are talking about some of this work that needs really a lifetime to understand them, and to experience and to develop. So I'm totally aware of this, and I'm sure that right now I have a very youthful also way of approaching to the Goldberg, which is not a negative aspect of my playing. I just think that right now I see the Goldberg in a very human way. But I don't blame the ones that think differently from me, and probably playing so many times on stage will make me understand different point of view about that. But that doesn't mean that this is less true than something in the future or something in the past. It's just a very personal and sincere approach to every single performance on stage.